Soul Yoga. Today we're going to be exploring in yoga speak, we call it open hip and closed hip positions. So that is where our hips are facing forward or out to the side. And really all that means is that we've got in closed hip positions facing forward, one leg, for example, in a lunge position is in a flexed position, the other leg is in hip extension, but we are neutral facing forward. We're not abducted or adducted together. So in open hip positions, that's where the difference is going to be. We can still have one leg in extension and one leg in flexion. However, our hips are out to the side. So we've got a little bit of this abduction happening and a little bit of rotation as well in the femur bone. So we're going to take a sequence through our closed hip positions, so things where both of our hips are facing forward. We'll build through that. We'll make it a little more of a flow, and then we'll pause and we'll switch over to open hip positions. I do recommend a block for this as we do have some balancing in this sequence. And in our open hip positions, we'll work through some of those standing poses in which our hips are open to the side. Then we will pull all of that together where we put the two sequences and squish them together at the end. So we're going to first start off on our backs in Banana Asana. So if you do not know what Banana Asana is, pretend as though you are a banana, one with a nice little curve in its back so that you have a C curve through one side of your body. So take a nice big good morning stretch, reaching your arms overhead, pointing through the toes. And then you just want to shift your upper body slightly over to the left, but make sure that the right and left shoulders are both down on the mat. And then we're going to shift both of our feet over to the left. So we create that C curve down the right side of the body. Both of our hips and our shoulders are flat. So if you're starting to roll up from off the mat, you can take some of that curve out of your spine. And then if you'd like to, if you want to deepen it, we can take right ankle and pass it over on top of the left ankle. And then you just want to breathe. Let me start my little timer here to make sure that I am timed appropriately in our class. So just relax into this position and allowing your breath to be a little bit more of an opener on that right side. So nice big inhale. Slow, long exhale. So just repeat that a couple of times. Allowing yourself to feel that space from the outer right hip all the way up into the armpit. One more big full breath in. And exhale it out. And just shift yourself. So upper body back through center, that midline of your mat. Uncross the ankles if they are crossed. Shift everything back through center. Take another nice big long full body stretch. And then as we exhale, we're going to rotate the upper body over to the right. So doing the same thing, but on the other side. Feet over to that top right corner. And if you'd like to, we can take the left ankle, stack it on top of to your right. Nice big breath in. Full exhale out. Do that a few more times. And then just noticing, right? We don't want to create a story or narrative. We're just noticing the differences between our right and left side. If one side holds a little bit more tension than the other side, you should be aware of that as you move through your flow, varying the poses as you need to compensate for any extra tightness, tension, or sharpshooting pain. So definitely want to back off. On your next breath in, and scooch everything back through the center. Uncross the ankles if they were crossed. Take another big good morning stretch. Reach through the arms. Let's make some fists. Circle out through the wrists. Circle out through the ankles. Maybe some snap, crackles, and pops in there. And then bring the knees in. Nice big mighty hug into the center forehead up towards your kneecaps. Pull everything in. Let's start to rock and roll the spine. Hands can come to the backs of the knees or they can stay on the shins as we rock and roll forwards and backwards. And then just cross the ankles or sweep the legs to the side as we come into tabletop position. So hands underneath or slightly in front of your shoulders, hips underneath your knees, moving through that little classic cow and cat spine. Just allowing your breath to be the guide of the movement. But if you want to pause on either end, either your cow pose to open up the front of the body or your cat pose to open up through the backs of the shoulders, you can feel free to take any little slight pauses there, holding your breath or continuing to breathe as you move through those two. And then if you'd like to take it more into that side body, little C curve from side to side, like we're pulling the shoulder towards the hip to open up the other side. And just noticing where you hold your tension. For me, it's in those side bodies. It's a collection of muscles that help stabilize us from right to left. And then we're just going to move back into neutral tabletop. So right here on hands and knees, pulling in through your core so that you lengthen through the lower back. So we don't want to allow this front rib cage to drop down and place a lot of weight here in the lumbar spine. We're pulling in and up through the belly button, slightly pressing through the hands, but not coming all the way to a cat back. Reach your right arm forward, your left leg back. So simple spinal balance here. It is a balancing position. So if you kind of wobble in and out of it, that's okay. We're just hold here for a moment. Take another big full breath in. As we exhale, we're bringing elbow to knee underneath the body. Really accentuate that curve in the upper back. Inhale, reach forward, kick back. Repeat that elbow to knee. Reach forward, kick back. Elbow to knee. We're going to move through that 3 more times. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, contract, pull it in. 1 more time through. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, reach the arm forward, kick the leg back, bring the knee down to the earth, and then make some big circles with the right arm. So opening up through the shoulder, switch directions. And then float the right hand back down to the earth. Switch out sides, left arm, right legs. Reposition yourself as needed. Kicking the heel back like you're shutting a door. So keeping that tension in the glute, tension, just engagement. We're not clenching the glute, but we're allowing it to lift this leg up in space. Big breath in. Big breath out. Being mindful of our spine here, pulling in through the rib cage. 1 more. Exhale, elbow to knee. Doing the same thing that we did on the other side. Reach and kick. Pull it in. Inhale, expand the chest. Exhale, contract the core. 2 more, flowing through that length and contraction. The expansion with the inhale. Using the core on the exhale. Kick the leg back. Reach the arm forward. Bring the knee down. Shift open through that left side. Big sweeps of the arm. Switching directions. And then bringing left palm back down to the earth tabletop. Move to your downward facing dog, lifting your hips up and back, perhaps pedaling through the heels, allowing yourself some organic movement in your downward facing dog, taking any variation that you need to so that the hamstrings aren't a restriction and the hips can go up high. So bend the knees as needed. Big breath in, big breath out. 3-legged down dog. So shift the weight to the left foot, pick up your right leg. Open through the hip, bend the knee. Nice big full breath in. Exhale, low Anjaneyasana. So step the left foot forward, right foot forward, coming onto the fingertips. Gently drop down into the hips. So we want to think a little bit of cow spine here. So lift and lengthen. And breathe. This is allowing us to get into the hip flexor on this left side with the right foot forward. Big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. So step the left foot forward, then heel toe it out so that we have some space between right and left foot. Bend through the knees, drop the head, grab onto your arms with your elbows. Let yourself very gently sway from side to side. Release your arms, heel toe your feet to touch. Soften through the knees, roll yourself up to stand as we take the hands high, big breath. Exhale, empty and fold again, hinging at the hips, sending your hip points back. Stepping back to your high plank pose, toes to the back of the mat, weight in the hands. We can be on the toes or the knees here, which is this nice integrity in the spine. So we don't want to be lowered through the low back or the shoulders. We need to be pushing in, pulling that energy into the midsection without breaking at the hips, right? So we have that in between here. Big breath. Exhale all the way down to the belly with control. Untuck your toes. Leave your palms exactly where they are, where they landed. Take your legs a little bit wider. Ground down through the tops of your feet. Inhale, cobra pose. So we're keeping that bend in the elbows, tucking in, lifting heart. Exhale, roll back down. Bring the palms to the edges of the mat, so just a little bit out from where they were when they landed. Inhale, lift the heart, cobra pose. Bhujangasana. Exhale, back down. Now creating a little bit more space off the mat, tent through the fingers so the elbows point upwards now. Inhale, lift the heart, broaden across the chest. Exhale, back down. Now bring the toes to touch, press back. Knees are still wide so we can sink back into our child's pose. So getting a little bit of opening in the inner thighs, which we'll need for our open hip positions. Inhale, round forward into your tabletop. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Now shift that weight slightly over to the right as you pick your left leg up, three-legged down dog. Stack through the hips, bend the knee, keeping the left shoulder pulled down so that we're not twisting in the upper body. Step the left foot between the hands, low Anjaneyasana. So same thing here, coming up to the fingertips, softening through that right hip flexor, but keeping that right quad so we're not breaking it down. Keeping that right quad lifted, lifting through the heart all the way through the spine, through the crown of the head. Big breath in. Exhale, coming back to that forward fold, ragdoll, heel toe feet apart. Bend through the knees, drop the head, grab onto the elbows, or a variation interlace behind the head. Tuck the chin into the chest. Press the back of the head into your hands. And then if you'd like to, sway. Take a traditional ragdoll if you prefer that. Release the arms, heel toe your feet to touch. Bend through your knees, roll yourself up to stand. Take the hands high. Exhale, back down. Moving back into that plank pose, spread all 10 fingers of your hands. Make sure not to underutilize your hands. They're very important in the strength of the upper body so that we have a firm base all the way up through the shoulders. Just start to rock forwards and backwards. So creating a little bit of instability in our plank so that that core, that really deep core, has got to light up, keeping that lower back nice and protected. One more. Exhale all the way down to the belly. We'll move through that cobra series once more. Widen through the legs, press down through the tops of the feet. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, roll back down, keeping that bend in the elbows. I know it's hard. Walk the hands out to the edges of the mat. This starts to fire up the shoulders instead of straightening the arms and relying on the elbow joints. Back down. Shakes just a little bit to the tips of the fingers off the mat. Inhale, king cobra. Oh, exhale, roll back down. Bring the hands back in. Press back to your child's pose. Last time, hips to the heels. Forehead to the mat. Breathe in. Breathe out. Round back into your tabletop. Tuck toes, downward facing dog. All right, we're going to move through sun salutation. Feel free to vary this as your practice needs. You do not have to do chaturangas. You can move from plank to down dog. You can step back however you need to make it there. Top of the mat, make your way to forward fold. Bring your fingertips to your shins. Press your heart halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana, forward fold. Breathe out. Back to that halfway lift. It should feel the same as plank pose in this half lift because that's what we're preparing for. So go to your plank pose. Breathe in. Exhale, shift forward. Then the elbows are right by your sides, low plank. And then press to up dog or stick with that cobra, downward facing dog. Of course, the option to just move from plank to down dog if chaturanga is not great for your shoulders. Step right foot forward. Step left foot forward. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold, bend through the knees a little bit, all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana, forward fold. Move back into that halfway lift, preparation for chaturanga or plank to down dog, and move through that vinyasa. Following your breath, your body will meet in downward facing dog. We'll go through that one more time. Left foot forward between the hands, right foot will follow. Forward fold to your half lift. Inhale. Exhale, bow and fold. Rise up, weight in the heels, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Last time through that sun salutation A, halfway lift. High-low push-up, or make your way to your downward facing dog. Yogi's choice of how you get there. Strong through the arms in that up dog. Press back through the hips in our downward facing dog. All right, three-legged down dog. Right leg's gonna lift high. Weight shifts to the left foot. Exhale, knee into the chest. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, stepping through to low Anjaneyasana. This time the left knee will come down to the earth. Untuck your toes. Think about squeezing the inner thighs together so that that pelvis stays facing forward in our closed hip position. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, rocking back to half splits. Graze the fingertips on the earth. Send the hips back towards this left heel. Feel free to keep a bend in the right knee. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, rebend the knee. Take your arms high. Nice full breath in. Tuck the back toes under. We're going to lift the back knee up and then bow forward over the right thigh. High lunge with airplane arms. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, rise all the way up. I like to bump my back toes up for a little bit of extra stability. Palms to touch. Bend the elbows. Thumbs come to the nape of the neck. Pause here. Pull in through the rib cage. Lift up the rib cage away from the hips. Lean slightly back. Big breath. Exhale, come back into that bent position over the right thigh with the arms next to us. Big breath in. Take off. Dekasana, left leg lifts. So keep that broadening across the chest. A little lift of the heart. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Left foot down to meet the right foot, palms to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise up. Urdhva Hastasana, palms high. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Let's do the left side now. Halfway lift. High-low push-up or step back to your downward facing dog. Up dog on your in-breath. If you're taking that vinyasa, down dog on the out-breath. Left leg will lift up, lift back. Knee to the chest as we pull in, stack the shoulders over the wrists. Inhale, kick back. Step all the way through lightly, left foot forward, right knee to the earth, untuck the toes. Inner thighs cinch in so we keep that closed hip position. High, hands, exhale, rock back into that half Hanuman. Breathing into the back of the leg if you're feeling any tension there. Big breath in, big breath out. Rebend the knee, take the hands high. And as we exhale, tuck the back toes under, lift the right kneecap as we lean over the left thigh with that airplane upper body. Just preloading that left leg in preparation for balance. And then high Anjaneyasana. Again, I like to bump the right toes up a little bit for a little extra stability, palms to touch. Taking that little back bend, pulling in through the core for stability. One more breath. Exhale, drop the chest, sweep the arms again. That half lunge, half airplane position. Pull the shoulder blades back in space. Lift the back leg up. Balancing into that Dekasana, airplane pose. Big breath. This time, Utkatasana, chair pose. Right foot taps down to that left foot. Lynn, don't fall over. There we go. Chair pose. Sitting the hips back towards that back edge, reaching up through the fingertips. Forward fold. All right, let's move through that a little bit more of a flow. Halfway lift with the inhale. Exhale, down dog or chaturanga, up dog, down dog. And then right leg, three-legged down dog. We'll inlet, held high. Exhale, bring the knee towards our forehead or our chest. Inhale, kick it back. Moving through that low Anjaneyasana, left knee to the earth, untuck the toes. Taking fingertips high, breathe in. Exhale, rock back to that half Hanuman. Right away, re-bend the knee, take the hands high. As we lift the back knee, we're bowing over the right thigh in that airplane pose. Sweep hands up, bend the elbows, thumbs to the nape of the neck. We'll do that again as we drop the chest, sweep the arms, this time back leg lifts. Flying upwards, chair pose, left foot meets the right, inhale, arms high. Exhale, forward fold. All right, let's repeat all of that on the left side, halfway lift. High-low push-up or make your way back to downward facing dog. Take your left leg up, breathe in. Knee to chest. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, step it forward. Right knee to the earth, untuck the toes, take your hands high, breathe in. Exhale, rock back, half splits. Rebend the knee, take the hands high. As we lift the back knee, bow over left thigh, hands by the sides. Inhale, high lunge, palms touch right away. Bend the elbows into that little back bend. Exhale, Tadasana, left foot on the earth, right leg sweeps up, sweeps back, Utkatasana, chair pose. Finding this nice little graceful flow, forward fold. Halfway lift. Step back, plank pose. Toes to the back of the mat, then lower the knees down, tabletop. Untuck the toes when you arrive. Back to that simple spinal balance, right arm, left leg. So the difference we're going to take here is we're going to start to move into the open hip positions. So goalpost the right arm out to the side. Bring the left knee towards the left tricep as you breathe out. Inhale through center. This is going to be our start position. Exhale to the side. 3 more just like that. Right arm forward, left leg back. Out to the side. 2 more. Out to the side. And last one. Out to the side. This time we're going to keep the left knee up, place the right palm back down on the earth, shift a little to the right, left knee up a little higher, circles. We love our circles in yoga. Switch. Kick it out to the side. So again, like you're shutting a door, floating it up there. You're going to feel that outer hip kind of, and then place the left foot down on the ground. Sealing the edge of the foot onto the ground. Walk the hands forward, half gate pose, that's the lower half. Half down dog, that's the upper half. Feel free to kind of shift yourself back and forth a little bit. Then walk up to the right knee. I like to tuck my toes under for a little extra stability there. We're going to take the hands high, move into that gate pose, left arm down, right arm up. Palms back to the earth, left knee in, switch sides, right leg, left hand, arm. So pause here for just a moment. Then we take those 5 passes through towards the outside. So goalpost left arm, right knee towards the right tricep. Inhale to that simple spinal balance. Exhale out to the side. 3 more. Inhale through center. Exhale through the sides. 2 more. Through center. Exhale to the sides. 1 more. Through center. Exhale to the side. Inhale through center, or palm down, left palm down, shift a little to the left, pick up that right knee. I'm kind of short, so I gotta come up on my fingertips. Circles, circles, switch directions. Kick that right leg out, let it burn just a little bit, and then place it down on the earth. Walk the hands forward, that half gate pose, and half down dog in the upper half. And walk the hands in. We're going to tuck that back toe under, coming up under the left knee, on top of the left knee. Right hand down, left hand up, opening up through the left side. All right, so now our hips are ready, hands high, palms down, back to your tabletop, so that we can add in our open hip positions. Tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. All right, lift your right leg up. So shift the weight to the left foot. Right leg goes high, the right knee to the right tricep. Feel free to leave this out. Inhale, kick it up, kick it back. Warrior two, our first open hip position. Spin the back foot flat, lift up through the upper body. Hips are facing the side, shoulders over the hips as opposed to pulling forward. Bend into the right knee, reach up as you reverse your warrior. Humble warrior, so grabbing either your forearms or interlacing the hands for the classic bind shoulder rinse as we bow to the inside of the right thigh. Press into both of your feet. Big breath in, big breath out. Knuckles go back as we lift the heart, warrior two. Goddess pose to the side. The opening up through the hips, knees both turn out as we settle the hips down through the thighs. Bring the hands to your thighs, straighten the arms, shrug the shoulders up towards your ears. Roll the left shoulder in, just a little bit of a twist. Make it come from more of the upper back than the lower back. You don't want to twist from there. And then twist with that upper back over to the side. Inhale back to your goddess pose. Exhale, warrior two. So reset. Reverse Trikonasana. Straighten the right leg. Reach up, reach back. Rebend the knee. Half moon. So this is where you might want to grab that block as we lift the left leg up. I like to bring my hand to the hip. Whoops. Don't fall out of it, Lynn. Reach the left leg up. So the hip comes open. Left arm comes high. Big breath. Then start to rotate that left hip down, rotate the left hand down, land, chair pose. Sit down, weight in the heels, lift and spread all 10 toes. Exhale, forward fold. Take your halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step back plank, low plank, up dog, down dog, or stepping from plank to downward facing dog. Left side's turn, lift the left leg up. Left knee, left tricep. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, step between the hands, left foot to the top of the mat, spin the back foot flat, warrior two. Reverse your warrior as you breathe in. Coming to that humble warrior here. Grabbing forearms, I'll show you what that looks like from the back here. Lifting through the heart, broadening across the collarbones to bow to the inside of the left thigh. And since we're shifting our weight to the left, you really want to make that right leg active so we don't collapse forwards. Inhale, come back up. Releasing the bind to warrior two, goddess pose. So shifting, pivoting through the feet, sit down through the hips. Now, holding the arms here in these 90-degree angles on either side of the head. See if maybe you can lift the heels up, balancing on the balls of the toes. A little bit of extra work for the thighs. Ankles, shins, getting that stability there. Heels down if you took that option. Warrior two, back towards the top. Reverse Trikonasana. Just give that side a chance to flush out. Bend through the knee to that half moon. Again, we can grab the block. We can think about a smooth lift of the right leg. There we go. Opening up through the right hip, chest, arm. Feeling free not to be this open if you need to keep that right hip a little bit more closed for this SI joint here in the back. And then right foot down to the earth, chair pose. Sit through the hips, lift through the hands, big breath in, exhale, forward fold. All right, now let's put it all together. I'm trying to honor our time of 30 minutes for this flow. Roll yourself up to stand. Palms to touch, hands to the heart. So we'll move through that open hip position on the right side. Then we'll use our balancing poses to switch our lead leg and do the open hip position. So we'll do closed hip positions first on the right leg. Sorry if I said that backwards. Closed hip positions on the right leg. Then we're going to use our balance positions to switch lead legs to do open hip on the left. Okay, then we'll do the closed hip on the left, switch open hip on the right for balance from right to left, but a little bit of playing around with how our brain works, okay? Which is always fun. All right, hands high, breathe in, exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift on your breath in. You're gonna move to down dog, yogi's choice of how you get there. right leg goes high. We're taking that knee to heart first, and then we'll inhale it back up. And we're taking right knee to the right tricep next. And then we're kicking it back. And then low lunge, step right foot forward. We'll lower left knee to the earth, untuck the toes, take the hands high. Exhale into your half split. So rocking the hips back towards the heel. Rebend the knee as we take the hands high. We'll tuck the back toes under into that half airplane, half high lunge position. Inhale, hands high, palms to touch. Bend the elbows, nape of the neck as we take a little bit of a back bend, and then into our Dekasana airplane pose. Now here's where the switcheroo change-o comes. From Dekasana, forward fold. Shift the weight to the left foot, half move. Right arm, right leg goes high. So switching the lead legs to warrior two. Land, open up the arms, reverse your warrior. Humble warrior, whatever bind yogi can take here, we're lowering to the inside of the left thigh. Inhale, lift up. Release the bind, move to that goddess pose. Sit the hips down if you'd like to right away, lift through those heels. Lots of great expressions to take in goddess pose. Then heels down. Let's take a star pose, reach high. Warrior two. Reverse your warrior, and then reverse Trikonasana. That's where we want to go. Bring the palms down to frame the left foot. Pivot up on the back toes, low lunge. Take it to your high plank. Then either down dog or move through chaturanga. Up dog, down dog. Left side high. So sticking with that left side, knee comes into the chest. Inhale it back. Left knee to the left tricep. Because here where we have the closed hip positions, three-legged down dog for the left side. Left foot forward, right knee to the earth. Untuck the toes, take your hands high, breathe in. Exhale, rock back through the hips, sweep the arms next to you. Half Hanuman. Rebend the knee, take the palms high. We'll tuck the back toes under, lift the back kneecap as we come to half high lunge, half Dekasana. Inhale, lift up, palms to touch. Bend the elbows, taking that little back bend. And flight into Dekasana. Lift the right leg, bowing, forward fold. And now our half moon on the right side. Switch it out. Reach up with the left arm, left leg. Bend through the right knee, step back. Reverse your warrior. Humble warrior, bind of your choice. Drop through the chest, extend through the arms if you're taking that shoulder rinse. Press to the feet, rise up, warrior two. Good, goddess pose. Finding your expression here for a few breaths. 3, 2, 1, star pose. Warrior two, back towards that right side. Reverse Trikonasana, reach up, reach back. Low lunge. Palms down as we rebend the right knee, pivot up on the back toes. And then step the left foot forward to meet the right, forward fold. Bend through the knees, roll up to stand, hands high, forward fold, bend through your knees. Have a seat, lengthen the legs out in front of you. Hips underneath the shoulders. So just a really short closer here, again, to honor our time of about 30 minutes in our practice. Bend the right knee. You can keep it here or step it over the left for a little bit of a twist and adduction. So making everything feel whole and complete, adding a twist and adduction to our legs. We're going to twist to the right, sit up nice and tall. Unwind back through center. We'll switch it out, left leg out, or right leg out, bend the left, step it over. Anchoring through that left sitting bone. Use the right arm to hold it into the midline of the body, the left hand to lift you up nice and tall. Big full breath in, big full breath out. One more inhale, one more exhale. And you can unwind back through the center if you'd like to take any more positions for your hips, for your hamstrings, or your upper body. whatever you need to make your body feel whole and complete. Any other portions of meditation that you would like to add in to complete your practice, or Shavasana. Or if 30 minutes is all that you have today, you can come into Sukhasana, cross-ankled, easy pose for us to end our practice together, sitting up nice and tall. We'll take a breath in as we lift our hands, as if we're reaching up into the ether to pull wisdom down into the heart. The light in me sees and honors the light inside you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today for this practice of closed and open hips. I really appreciate it. Namaste.